Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I'm here at Apex 2020 and I'm joined by Barbara Duvall from Seica. Thanks for joining me. We've seen huge amounts of new products, new developments in Seica over recent years. One of the most significant was the move from test to add automation, and that's something that clearly the industry needs. Tell me about the strategy behind that and what impact it's had on the business.
We've always talked about solutions more than products in Seica. So our goal with this strategy of going into automation, we have a Seica Group company that does automation for the electronics industry, is to be able to offer complete solutions to the customer. It seems more and more customers are looking for this type of support from vendors.
Yeah.
They're not looking to have just piecemeal putting together themselves a line or an automated solution. So we believe this is a direction that we need to go in, and that's where we're going.
Yeah, and it makes perfect sense. And you know, when I look at the new products that I've already discussed that you're developing, they need to not exist in isolation. They need to be within an ecosystem. And you know, for example, you've got new testers that are specific to large batteries.
Yes.
There's a whole requirement around that in terms of ecosystem. So how has that changed the way you develop products now? And do you develop a test solution first and then build an ecosystem, or do you look at the ecosystem and try and put the test solution in there?
Well, more than that, we look at where the industry's going. We see a big need, for example, in the electrical vehicle sector. That's where the electronics industry is certainly developing. Batteries are going to be a big thing, already are a big thing. And so we're working on solutions for that specific market at the present time. And one of the ones we're showing here is the Pilot BT, the battery tester for electrical vehicles. We try to be on the leading edge, so we talk to our customers all the time to see where they need to go. For example, some sectors of the industry are going more and more into high precision cards, so you need to be able to address that, for example, with the flying probe system. Yeah. And so we try to talk to the customers, see where they're going, and build around that.
Yeah, and that's what you've got to do, I guess. You've got to recognize trends, but you've got to have that open dialogue with customers where they know they can come to you and say, hey, we need this, but we need it to exist in these ecosystem. And we seem to be in a stage now where a lot of the digital building blocks are in place for some level of realization of Industry 4.0. Where do you see yourself in that ecosystem in terms of, you know, you've got your machinery, you've got your automation, there are software requirements, there are interconnectivity requirements. Where do you see the overlap there?
Well, actually, we have another line of products that is specific for monitoring for Industry 4.0, which is something we started developing probably 5 years ago, and now it's coming to fruition because Industry 4.0 is becoming a reality. Yeah. People need to digitize their data to be able to make the most of their equipment, their resources. So that is part of our offering, but we've always been involved from the beginning, let's say, of integrating our equipment into a digital environment with our interface to MES systems, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's just part of the development we're bringing forward.
Yeah, it's really interesting, Barbara. You know, you look at a company now and it's hard to say, are you a test company? Are you a capital equipment company? Are you an automation company? Are you a software company? You've got to be all of those. Yeah,
you have to be able to offer the solution that the customer needs. And sometimes you have to discuss with the customer to get them to the place where they find out what they need.
Yeah, that becomes a very consultative role. But it also means that you've got to be very collaborative. So you've got to build great partnerships with the MES companies, with companies that are going to interconnect. That's something that you've developed over a long period, I guess.
Yes, our goal has always been long-term relationships and partnerships with other companies that we see are complementary to our goal of giving the best solution to the customer.
Yeah, and that continues to be the case. Barbara, a pleasure to talk to you. It's a very successful formula, and I'm sure it will continue to be that. Thank you.